few minutes. I'm in the middle of cooking lunch, late lunch. But anyway, I thought while it's finishing, I thought I'd take you outside quick because I haven't given you a tour of the garden yet, and I've got some things that are already done. So let's take a look outside. So this is a view of the garden from a distance, and my neighbor's house. And my crispy lawn, because I don't water grass. I do water the garden, although it doesn't look like I did. I really promise I did water it. Two compost piles. The one on your left is from last year, on your right is from this year. It just takes forever for that stuff to compost because it's so dry here. Here's two tomato plants, and I'm going to zoom in here on a little surprise. This is an artichoke plant. Now, I don't think it's ever going to, I don't know if they get ripe. I've never grown one. But North Dakota is not where artichokes live. And I've never heard of anyone growing one, so I just kind of bought it for fun. Pepper, my strawberries, which really did not enjoy their winter. I need to cover them better because they should have spread a lot more by now. Just had pulled up the last of my kohlrabi this morning, so there's mint, peppers, and eggplant there. In the barrel there is some lemongrass and some weeds because I need to weed the garden. And there's a composter. I wish I wouldn't have ever bothered with it because I planned it for garden waste and it's too slow. Here's some broccoli. Just starting. It's not ready to be picked yet. I can usually get one massive head off of a broccoli plant, and then the rest are just going to be small. So cantaloupe, weeds, cucumbers. There were supposed to be peppers, which is why there were supposed to be peas there, which is why I have random fence posts, but they never came up, so I never bothered putting up the fence. More peppers. Here's some cucumbers and some, I think it's zucchini. That is a scarlet runner bean. I'll give you a close-up of it in just a bit here. And more weeds. I actually pulled them after I filmed this video. I didn't pull these yet. They're for tomorrow. Those are spaghetti squash and another pepper. And a Brussels sprout in the background. We'll talk about him. My pathetic, horrible lettuce. More broccoli. I planted a lot of broccoli this year because I was pretty excited about how it all went last year. And then there's peppers in there too. You can just kind of see the heads barely forming in there. Like I said, they're not ready yet, but you get one good head. Rhubarb plant. My other rhubarb plant died, but since I don't really eat rhubarb, I guess I don't really care. Nice shot of my finger there. This is a really sad Brussels sprouts. It's got cabbage worms. After I filmed this, I dusted them. I hate using chemicals on the garden, but this is just so bad that mechanically removing the cabbage worms just wasn't doing it. Here is a close-up of a scarlet runner bean. I planted a bunch of them. You'll see some out front too. But they're supposed to climb really well, and I hope they'll vine up these stumps here. So that's the plan anyway. Lots of radishes, a finger. These are hookneck, what are they called? Hookneck yellow squash. Purple tomatillos, which I need to thin one more time. I've never grown tomatillos before, so this should be interesting. And these are some kind of daisy and more weeds. Yep, I really need to pull weeds. I got part of it done. That is my healthiest eggplant. I planted them all at the same time, but this is a bed that I just dug up this year. In fact, I'm going to walk out to the street so you can see it in a bit. But I've widened it. The garden used to end right at the stump, and I've taken it closer to the house. Here I have peppers, I have beans, I have marigolds, and then I've got the second growth of beans kind of down the hill there. So when the first crop is done, I'll have more. It's been kind of weird. I don't know why. In this bed, some come up, some don't. And there's a barrel of, what are they? Petunias, I guess. And here, I changed my mind suddenly. Or no, I didn't. What did I do? What am I doing here? Oh, okay. My original garden was just between the stumps. I've expanded it north and south, and I've started to expand to east. Now I'm going to walk out into the street, look north. You can see my garden, and everything to the right of the stumps is what I've added on this year. So my goal is to get all the way over to my shed, the very edge of the shed. Here's an experiment. As I've dug up the sod this year, I'm turning it upside down on top of newspaper to kill the grass underneath it, although the dry weather seems to be helping with that. Oh, I guess we're going to look at my house after all. Yeah, that's a little embarrassing. I won't say mine is the nicest house in my neighborhood, but it is what it is. Now this, kind of on the spur of the moment as I was walking past, I decided to share. This is a tumbling composter I purchased a couple of years ago. It's got two chambers, one for what's going on now, one for stuff that's cooking. I've actually, once I figured it out, I've been pretty happy with it. It's about right for me. I know you're supposed to add all your compost at once and then just let her rip, but. This is some, they're kind of like snapdragons, and just sort of an experiment. I need something that'll grow here, and I can't really come up with anything. So trying out these snapdragon doodles, and we'll see how that business goes. Drain so I don't flood the foundation. I am totally drawn a blank on what kind of flower that is. I am so sorry. It's on the tip of my tongue, and it's not coming to me right now. But it's a flower. There's some more flowers that all came with the house. There's some babies of that big flower. It's kind of a 2-year growth thing. Then I have kale, also eaten up by those cabbage worms. This one has just been destroyed. I was going to make a kale salad actually this weekend, and then I looked at these and all the worms on them, just like, no. Gross. And I have begonias growing in front. I've never grown begonias before, and they're just doing awful. So I don't know if I need better soil or what's up. But here's some more begonias. Impatiens have kind of a disease, so I haven't been growing them, but just awful. And part of it is the dry weather. Part of it is this awful soil we have here in southwestern North Dakota. Everything is stunted this year. It's not just my garden. It's just a dry, awful year. And then I planted some zucchini here. Not that I was hoping they would grow, but just I thought they'd make nice foliage. And more kale that I'm going to need to thin and dust in time to actually have them usable. And then some, I don't know what it is. It's some kind of lettuce, but I forgot exactly what. And then there's some plants in back there. What are they called? Stevia? I can't remember the name actually, so I'm going to shut up. There is a tree that I planted. It's a native tree. I want to say it's a cedar, but maybe it's arborvitae. I can't remember for sure. I'm sorry, this is kohlrabi. Very interesting. I just learned about these a few years ago. They have a little bulb down here at the stem, and that's what you eat. You kind of have to peel it first, but they're kind of a mild flavor, like a mild radish, and I'll eat them like an apple. There's some parsley, some baby beets. I'll have to thin the beets again, I guess. I tried to plant a lot of carrots here too. This was not the year for carrots. I've got maybe 10 total came up. There's some baby Swiss chard. That's coffee grounds. I'm experimenting with putting the coffee grounds directly on the garden instead of in the compost for the summer. These are scarlet runner beans on some tripods. I'll walk away from the house in a bit so you can get a better view. But tripods are made out of old sunflower stalks. I did not grow sunflower stalks this year. More scarlet runner beans. I don't know what the heck I'm doing with my finger there. Beets that I planted too close to the grass. Really pathetic marigolds. There's a decorative cauliflower, again with cabbage worms, that I'm going to have to dust it, which I did after filming this. This one's a decorative. It'll be a purple cauliflower, but you can barely see a head in there. Yeah, more kohlrabi. I kind of like kohlrabi, and there's a really, really sad marigold. And then I have, some, well, that's another decorative cauliflower. Tomato, yes, I'm growing a tomato plant in my front yard. Some zucchini, more kale, not yet chewed up. So, yeah, I live in a nice neighborhood. You can just see how nice my street is, right? My house is sort of the sad-looking one. But you can get an idea here what the front yard looks like. And those are tripods where the hopefully will be covered by scarlet runner beans in a few more weeks. So yeah, that's pretty much the garden. I garden front and back, and you know, it just is what it is. I don't have a homeowners association, so I guess I get away with it. I really enjoy having a garden, eating healthy food, and get outdoors. I need to weed a little bit, but it's fun. So, talk to you later.